Welcome to Oral Communication in Context. This is Lesson 1 of Unit 3, the Speech Context. It was already noted that many think of communication as public speaking, or as a situation in which one speaker addresses many listeners. Others think of it as involving only two people talking to each other. But communication can involve more than two people or an audience. It can be a group discussion on cancer awareness, an organizational program to save the environment, a radio or TV show focused on corruption in government, or it could even be a showcase of tribal dances from all over the Philippines. Indeed, communication may be classified into different types based on the number of participants in the process. The first type of speech context is intrapersonal communication. This level of communication only involves one person. Apparently, this means communicating in situations involving talking, writing, and even thinking to oneself. Example scenarios are as follows: daydreaming, memorizing, repeating a song heard. Clearly, in intrapersonal communication, the speaker and the listener are one and the same. You send a message to yourself, and you yourself receive the message. Beyond intrapersonal communication are several types of speech contexts which we are more familiar with, such as interpersonal communication, which involves more than one person. Of course, it is not just the number of participants that determine each particular type of communication. They can be differentiated by its purpose. Dyadic communication involves only two participants, collectively called dyad. One speaker and one listener exchange thoughts, ideas, feelings, and opinions. Thus, roles such as sender and receiver are not fixed. They are interchangeable. This means the sender can be the receiver, and the receiver can be the sender as well. Small group communication requires 3 to 15 people to study an issue, discuss a problem, and come up with a solution or a plan. This is not just a gathering of people with no goal. The group should have an agenda, a leader, and an outcome to accomplish. Since everyone can be both speaker and a listener in the setting, rules must be followed to facilitate order. Order allows a full discussion, which leads to a compromise and the hope for result, a solution, or a plan. In public communication, the speaker addresses many listeners, collectively known as audience. There is no interchanging of the speaker and listener's roles. Many public communication events are formal. In addition, in this type of communication, the speech is well prepared. The speaker is dressed appropriately. The listeners are set to listen to the message. Moreover, there is usually a stage, a lectern, and a microphone coupled with a sound system, and sometimes spotlights. Mass communication is any above-human verbal interactions carried out with the aid of mass media technology, which includes television, radio, and social media platforms. Organizational communication refers to the interaction of members along the links in an organizational structure. Two variations of organizational communication include the following: formal organizational communication. This uses proper channels as illustrated in a company organizational chart. Memos, announcements, and reports are passed along to the members of the organization following the chain of command. An example is a memo in salary increase, which is issued by the company president, sent along to the vice president, then is passed on to the managers, and finally handed on to the supervisors before reaching the employees. Informal organizational communication. This version passes the links, skips forward or backwards, or even goes sideways just to achieve the same goal. Using the same example, the memo on salary increase will probably reach the employees faster than the formal announcement. The two types might be very different with each other. This does not mean that one is more important than the other, or one of these is bad. Both types of organizational communication are truly necessary for the organization to survive. Intercultural communication refers to the exchange of concepts, values, traditions, and practices between and among people of different nationalities. It goes beyond showcasing folk dance, local songs, and native delicacies. For example, a roundtable discussion to exchange views about how we relate with our families can show the differences and similarities in Korean and Philippine cultures. Another example, chatting with a friend from Abu Dhabi and might bring out difficulties of a Catholic Filipino migrant worker in a Muslim country.